We're here with head coach Chris Armas. Anyone who's on the Zoom, please use the raise your hand function and we'll get to you and address you to ask your question. But we will start with an opening statement from Chris. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Listen, here's what I would tell everyone. What a privilege I have to coach this group. That even over this last little bit, a tough stretch for us, that the way this team shows up every day, the belief they have to each other, the commitment to what we ask every day, big demands. And yeah, like in this business, there's this concept of pressure and, just even internal pressure we put on ourselves to win games. The way they stepped on the pitch today, going down a goal, to come back once again, to defend this fortress, to give it to the fans and to themselves, just makes a coach really proud. So not just that we beat a good team, and they are a good team, that the nature of the victory, the come from behind, and I think that it's something we talked about before the game, which was nothing in life and football it should be given to you. You have to go and earn it, and they did. And for that, it's what you hope for as a coach for your team. So big win for our players and for our fans, which were amazing once again to show up the way that they did in big numbers, big support. And it's with that team and our fans, you can see why this is a tough place to play for any team to come in.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure.
We'll go to Daniel.
Coach, obviously her return is a big story today. Just what did you think about the spark for this team, especially in that first half?
I thought it was a great season for Temois. It's the first time I get to see that in live action in a game, and just the attention she draws from the opposition, the confidence she gives our players emotionally, the quality that she brings onto the pitch, the threat in behind, but she's also very smart with her runs and with the ball. So she gets a nice assist on the day. Great debut of the season for her. It is great to have her back. So it's a nice positive first step for her, and it means a lot for us.
You kind of walk through the decision to sub her off right before halftime there. I mean, I know sometimes you think maybe 10 minutes there, but the stoppage time, could she have gone that much longer so you didn't have to burn a sub window? What was going through your head in that moment?
Yeah, listen, it's obviously a really good question because many people probably wonder, what's wrong with this coach? Why is he taking her out? It's only 5 more minutes. But on the day, we came in not with a certain amount of minutes, although we had an idea. It'd be that around 30. And then you have to say, all right, do you just bring her on in the second half, or do you start the game with her? That was a big decision that we made to say, let's start Temois, and just from the start, let's set a tone in this game. So now it's based on workloads. So once she reaches that threshold or this amount of minutes, but the workload, I think then it's close to 38, 37 minutes, and we know with stoppage time, the decision was made to take her off when I was prepared to in the first half, and 2, to not put the player at risk. So it became a decision I made to say, it's only 8 to 10 more minutes with stoppage, but what if that's not the best thing for Temois, and then ultimately the team? So science and art, we go with both, but I think it was the right decision.
And the second half there, it seemed like this team really came out strong and put Gotham under the gun there until you guys got that goal. I mean, just what did you like about the way the team came out in that second half?
Yeah, listen, I think that the team had a really good start to the game and built some momentum, created some chances in the first half, didn't get totally rewarded. In the second half, we made a couple of little adjustments, but we talked about continuing to be aggressive with Coop and with Haley, and just changed our press a little bit and said, let's really go after them a bit more. We can pin them in a little bit. We have the wind. They're against the wind, and I think we got on top of that right away. So great response from the players, especially the front line gets a lot of credit for some of the pressing and things and controlling things in our 4-2-4, as we say, but the back line has a big ask. We talk about shrinking space there, and I think they did a really nice job helping us pin them in a bit.
Awesome.
Chris, with that 4-2-4, obviously Croy playing a bit deeper today to make room for Shawinga in that front line. Just what made you go into that decision, and how did you like her effort there?
Yeah, listen, I think it's something we've repped a little bit in this last week, knowing Temwa could be coming back. If you play a typical 4-2-3-1 when we're defending, it feels 4-4-2, 4-2-4. But next to Low, oftentimes is another 6. We knew that if we play a 4-3-3 in attack, that puts a lot of creative players on the field at the same time, right? Coop and Temwa with Low, and then you have Croy and Deb with an Ali Sentnor. I came here and said we're going to attack, and we are going to do that. However, okay, defensively, it puts Croy in a role to play next to Low, defensively like a 6. And she's really intelligent. We thought she did a great job on the day next to Low, but from a defensive standpoint, I think we were organized, and in possession, we talked about building our attack and having those 3 central midfielders with overloads with Deb and Croy, and we think that actually helped. So, listen, we now want to have tactical flexibility. This gives us some options.
And with that flexibility, it seems like there's still, obviously still working through the front attack. Seems like Ali and Deb and sometimes getting in each other's spaces and kind of still working out the spacing on that. Just what was the plan going into that like, and how did you like how they're still working that out?
If players are getting in each other's spaces, that might happen sometimes. But we like to have players, we call it an attacking net. We want our net to be tight. We want to build our attacks with sometimes close combinations, short passes. Those are less pressable. Short combinations, which also sets good conditions for counterpressing. Imagine you have the ball, you lose the ball, you have players in close proximity. So yeah, you might get in each other's way. What I would tell you is we created some pretty good chances on the day. That team we just played against had 3 shutouts in 4 games and gave up 2 goals all year. Our players scored two on the day. So we look at the positive and that we were able to create. So yeah, we can live with that.
All right, we'll go back to Jillian.
Thank you. Coach, congrats. Big win. Really cool to watch you guys earn it the way you did. I was going to ask about Croy. I know it's been brought up, but you've talked a little bit about what a difference maker her defensive play could make on her international career, for example. What were your thoughts on her impacting this match in a defensive capacity today? And she also started a bunch of transitions as well.
You know, we have a really intelligent player with Croy Bethune. She's a winner. She's creative, and I believe that she's going to make a case for herself to get in with the national team with performances like that. Her will to win is strong. She's obviously has a gift of football with the ball, but today playing in that 6 role defensively, causing lots of turnovers in and around our own box, shifting the way she did all day with Lola Banta. I think she showed a lot to us and herself and anyone watching. And I know our national team is tuned in. So I think there's been a real mentality that we've seen in her that she's dangerous. She has this mentality as you try to convince players, but you can be dangerous with the ball and equally dangerous when you don't have the ball. And this was clear today. So yeah, thanks for noting that.
All right, we've got time for about 2 more. We'll start with Tom.
Coach, congratulations on the win today. This, however, does make a 5th straight match where you conceded first. Do you all just seem to respond better to getting punched in the mouth first, or is it easier to kind of take the game as it comes?
Look, it's something we talk about being the aggressors around here, scoring first corner kick, first foul, really putting things on our terms. And I think today we did that, and it wouldn't have been the first game that we did that. Again, we played against a good team. It's one of their first chances. They have it's a good goal for them, but that's never the intention to concede first. It's actually really difficult when you go down emotionally and just, it's hard to score goals. I think, listen, we're going to keep working at things like this, but I I think what we take also from it is that most teams in the league, 65% of the time, you get scored on first, you lose that many times. And we've won 2 games now from behind. So something we don't want, but we want to certainly score first, like we did last year a lot, and then you can get that next one. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
Coach, kind of bouncing off the last thing that you said, you've come back your past 2 wins of the season. You've come back from behind. You also are welcoming a lot of players back slowly from SEI. What does that say about the resilience of this squad?
It's a resilient squad for sure. Strong mentality. That's how winners behave, and we have a locker room full of winners. This is how we believe that that's the case. I'll tell you this. We believe in young players, Lainey, Rouse, Amelia. I mean, I'll tell you, a lot of coaches aren't bringing those players on in that pressure moment. Either we're going to be about development or we're not. And I say, you know what? Trust the young players too. And I think both did great. But we know around here we're getting stronger, not weaker, right? Look at Coop tonight. This is a couple of games in a row now. She looks herself. She's dangerous, aggressive all night, gets rewarded. Ali Sentner up the pitch. Like, I think it's her best game. Every attacker of the front 4 had a goal contribution. Ali with an assist, right? Temwa the same, and then 2 goals from Deb and Coop. And we're going to go into our depth. We have a good team. We have a strong team. Never an excuse from that locker room again, nor myself. We're getting stronger, not weaker, and we'll go into and now these next few games get to really see it even more in the Teal Rising Cup. We're really looking forward to. Thanks.
Coach, congrats on the win. Thank you so much. We'll have Cooper and Ali Sentnor here shortly. All right, everyone, welcome back. We have Michelle Cooper and Allie Santnor. Everyone on the Zoom, please use the raise your hand function and we'll get to your question. Everyone in the room, as we pass the microphone around, please say your name and your outlet. Go ahead.
Daniel Sperry, Kansas City Star. Congrats on the win tonight. Both of you could just kind of maybe describe Temwa's impact, just kind of the energy that she brought. I think with her getting the start seemed pretty evident right off the bat.
Yeah, I think whenever Temwa's on the field for the opposition, it's always going to be something or someone they're going to watch out for. So your game plan completely changes when she's on the field, and to be able to just have her presence back, it's been really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you want Temwa on the field, and we were super happy to have her in training this week. And I think leading into it, she's just someone that you gain confidence from, and that's a huge compliment towards her. So I think, we definitely want to ease her back in, but it was so great to have her out there and to have her just as another part of our great attack.
And then you guys came out really strong in that second half. Oh, without her, and I thought the energy, you guys really pinned Gotham back into the goal. Just what about that second half? And then both of you could kind of walk us through the goal since you provided the assist.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how we want to be able to connect more, the two of us, and to be able to bring that onto the pitch and score the goal because of that was super exciting. But we know we want to come out stronger in the second half. Like we have a great atmosphere here. We have great fans, and we know we're a good team. But the importance of starting the second half faster than we did the first, or how we came out of the first half, is the biggest game changer for us.
Yeah, I think we created so many opportunities, and hopefully this is just the first connection on a goal for many going forward. And I think it's great going into camp. It's great, to keep connecting as a front line. I think that's something we've really focused on over these past couple of weeks. So it's just great momentum, great finish, and yeah, I think we're really excited about it.
Chad Smith, Casey's Soccer Journal. Michelle, first one for you. You just seem quite elated. I felt like maybe your game took to another level coming back off the injury. Can you just talk to us through that celebration, kind of your reaction after the goal?
Yeah, I think it's definitely like a relief, a bit of a relief. Like it is hard to come back and hard to come back from injury naturally, but it is nice. We have a lot of the same girls on the team still. So just finding my footing again was really the big thing for me, and to finally get the goal for it felt really good, but also the winning goal for us. So be able to get 3 points because of that was huge.
And then Allie, we were talking to Chris about how you and Deb kind of at times were on top of each other, and he said that's almost by design because he wants you to be close so you can pass quickly, counter press quickly if the ball is lost. How do you get the benefits of the things he's looking for without the bad parts, I guess, where you kind of run into each other sometimes on that nearly a third goal there late?
Yeah, I think we had a few really good combinations today, just 1-2, and I guess I'm trying to play into that Brazilian player a little bit, but it's really fun to play with her, and she's a great player, and we want both of us on the ball. So I think it's important to be in those positions, but just keep continuing to learn off of each other. I think we played a similar position last year, so we're just working it out and connecting together. But it's really fun to play with her, and we want to be in those spaces. And now it's just about really confusing the defense, one checking, one going in behind. So we're continuing to evolve and work with that. But we're both players that want quick, tight combinations, so we're not looking to be too far from each other.
PJ Green, Kansas City Star. Allie, on that note, obviously we see you on the pitch always asking for the ball. Just how do you balance being at that 9 and also kind of tracking back into the mid and also keeping it composed late in the match, just keeping it copacetic in the midfield?
Yeah, I think one of our principles that we've been working on is all of our forwards coming back into the game. That's one of our huge principles on defense. So we're not going to have our forwards lingering up top and waiting for the ball. We're all going to get back into the game, and then we're all going to attack. So that's just one of the things that we live by. And then I think for me, I'm not going to be the hold up just running behind 9 all the time. I want to diversify my game, so coming back and then holding it up. So I think it's just making sure I continue to learn and grow in that balance with that, and continue to be someone that defenders don't know if I'm going to check or go in behind. So I think that's something I'm continuing to work on week in, week out.
And then for both of y'all, I know with Vlaco it was similar of attacking and pressing and everyone contributing on defense. Also with Croy playing a bit deeper, more attackers than kind of traditional defenders. Just how is it not different, but what is it like for the front line to kind of be more defensive centric, or just practicing more on defense?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one of our principles as a team has always just been if someone loses the ball, we all win it back. And I think that's something that is a team-first mentality that we always talk about. And we are going to double down. We're going to be all around the ball, like little, a pocket of players around the ball. We don't want someone to see someone with their own jersey. So that's something that's continuing to be important to us under Chris as well. So if you want to talk more about that.
Just echoing what Ali said, I think it's important that defense wins games, and that's the biggest part for us. Like, if we can get a lead and close out a game, it's going to be through effort, and that's what defending is. It's strictly effort. So making sure that all 11 players on the field are giving that 100%. It doesn't matter how much time you've played or how much effort you've given 10 minutes ago. We need you all the time.
Tom Pursley, Shea Butter FC. You all both talked about the impact that Timo had on the match. I know I would like to ask about the impact that maybe Croy had on the match, being played in a little bit of a different position, and the way that she excelled. Knowing that she's a newer player to the team, was this something that you expected that she was going to be able to do and slot into that role right next to Lo as well as she has?
Yeah, I mean, Croy's a great player. She'll do anything you ask her to do. And I think that was really evident today. What she brought on the pitch was huge. Her defensive efforts were absolutely insane. Towards the end of the game, right before she's getting subbed off, she's making like 50-yard dribbles. And those are the little things that are going to push us above other people and get us to win games just like we did today. So for her to be able to slot into that position so easy and be so dynamic for us and give that effort, it was huge.
Yeah, I think Croy's a crafty player. Like, she really likes to be in the middle of the field. So I was honestly really excited for her to be in there today because I knew that she was excited. And that is something that you can't underestimate. So I think it worked well, and we bought in defensively. So even with having multiple attackers out there, we still were able to close it down defensively.
Congrats on the win today. Coming off a tough road trip, also facing Gotham, who ended your season last year. How much did this mean today to get the win?
Yeah, I definitely think you could say there's like borderline rivalry brewing here, but it was huge for us to get the win, for them to come into our house again and think that maybe they had that momentum or maybe they had that edge, but take it right away from them. I mean, it is unfortunate they got the goal before us, but we really wiped it out from under them towards the end there, which is exactly what the goal was at the end of the day, to get 3 points, and we did exactly that.
Just last one. Congrats to both of you. Michelle, awesome. So fun to see you scoring again. And Allie, it's like so fun to watch you just really kind of becoming a leader in the attack. How much does a match like this set you up to be successful in camp? And how excited are you guys to represent, again, U.S., now playing Japan? Just how excited are you about that?
Yeah, we're so excited. And I think, like, even just having that connection today, it's like, it's a little spark going into camp, and we know we have that, and like, it's going to be great to play together and with incredible players that we played against today as well. So it's definitely a mindset switch. We're so happy to get the win today, and we live in that this weekend, but then it's a complete flip to, some different principles, some different ways of playing, maybe a different position, and playing with players that we just played against. So it's a little bit crazy, I think, and it's really fun, and to play Japan 3 times is an honor. So we're just really excited to play a great team that we're going to have to battle with every game.
Awesome. Allie, Michelle, thank you so much. Congratulations on the
you.
win. Thank you guys as well.
Thank you guys.